Appreciate all you guys for connecting with us. We appreciate the likes, we appreciate the subs. We just appreciate the love in general, man. We love y'all, man. Keep tuning in, keep tuning in, keep commenting, and we're gonna keep giving y'all this great unfiltered 2 cents and change podcast opinions. Yeah. So yeah, bro, you know how it is, man. Start it off. What we got? What we got first on deck?
Well, OKC just won the title. So what's the thoughts on that?
Congratulations. Congratulations to the OKC Thunder, man, for winning the 2025 NBA championship. What a run. I'll let you start off first, bro.
I'm happy that they completed it, because if they didn't win the title, it would have went down as another team with all these high expectations that didn't get it done. So, I'm happy to see like the history and that being completed. So, props to them for that. The only thing that's just jacked up is the fact that Haliburton got injured during the game.
Yeah.
He got up to such a hot start. So it's like, I'm not going to say an asterisk, but, it's like, damn, we got
that's
to the
going
game
to be
7.
That's going to be a what if later on.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Haliburton, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen Sublayer, them be everybody full strength competing, and that's what I would have liked to see.
Let's touch bases on the Thunder, right? This was at mine. We're gonna hold on. Hi, Moomy. What's up, Moomy?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah,
you good?
So yeah.
Touch bases on the Thunder right quick, and how monumental this season was. First of all, this young Thunder team, and I say young because they're the second youngest NBA team to win an NBA championship, I believe, at 24 years of age, the average age. So shout out to them and being that young and having the mindset to go out there in the game 7. And actually come out with the W, so that was big kudos to the OKC Thunder. And, with the backcourt with Jalen Williams and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm looking here, they was the second most points in a duo in the NBA Finals since LeBron James and Kyrie. Shai and Williams at 377 and LeBron and Kyrie at 398.
I think Segiro in there, bro.
Them guys been boiling. Let me view the request. Let me get them up in there.
Yeah.
So those guys been boiling, man. So shout out to Thunder, OKC. I said Thunder, OKC, but shout out to OKC, man. Thunder for that monument. I would say
Segiro was good.
I would say monumental run. What else, Segiro? What's going on, bro?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. You're looking all clad over there, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. But we just talk about the Thunder and the Pacers in the NBA Finals and the run they had, them being the second youngest team in the NBA. I mean, in history at 24 to win a chip.
To win the finals.
Talk about Jalen Williams and Shai Gilgeous. So what's your take on it, Segiro?
Man, we gotta salute them brothers. I like people we talk about that like all-time great stuff. We can't do that yet because typically when we talk about all-time great teams, you got to do it multiple times. It's like an era. But this team is off to an amazing start. They remind me a lot of the Warriors with the Warriors' first chip. If you remember the Warriors' first chip, they won 67 games. This OKC team won 68. Steph won MVP. Shai won MVP. Second best player, we didn't really know who Clay was yet, made his first All-Star. J-Dub made his first All-Star and was All-NBA. Then they got Chet. That team had Draymond. That team had a vet in Iggy. This team had a vet in Caruso. So there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
So I think they off and running. I don't know how many they gonna win, but they off to a great start. We're gonna see where they go from here.
And one thing I want to note about that team that I've saw and read about, they always talk about like the culture of the Thunder. They said even down to just the security guard, right? That they even highlighted on ESPN. They said the culture there is so family oriented, and they gave a nod to Sam Presti. Like Sam Presti did an incredible job in scouting talent. If you look at Jalen Williams, he went number 12
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you're not looking that deep in NBA draft to get like a star player, right? You're
Right,
probably
right, right.
getting
Yeah.
a role
A
player in that
solid
league,
player, yeah.
solid player, you know. So shout out to Sam Presti for doing his due
He's
diligence.
been doing that, right? Even like
Yeah.
him, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if we could think far back like 15, 17, 20 years ago. Nobody thought Russ would be who he became. Like that pick, a
Yeah.
lot of people was like, "Yo, that's real high to take Russ," because Russ in college was
I
like
mean,
a
he was
deep,
killing at UCLA though.
but he was like
But not
mainly a
nah, but
defensive guy.
yeah,
He
but
didn't
not
look like
like what he became.
what he
Remember,
became. And
Nate Collison was ahead of him.
yeah, what no, not
Nate Collison.
Darren Collinson, the
Oh yeah, I'm
dark-skinned
bugging.
point
Yeah,
The
guard.
point
yeah,
guard.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was starting ahead of him. And then even when Russ was starting, they had him as like a defender. Russ looked like an Avery Bradley kind of player, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
defense and athleticism. And they
yeah,
took him with the number 4 pick, and he turned into Russell Westbrook. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
so he's been doing this. So
yeah,
yeah, man.
for sure.
OKC's off to. And you know what I think is really good? I think it's great when players become superstars who you didn't think they would be stars. Like Shea, nobody
Mm-hmm.
thought he'd become
Nobody,
this.
yeah.
So to
Yeah,
me, he still has this humble aspect about him that like, yo, we doing this together. It's not a me. Because
Mm-hmm.
even
yeah,
at Kentucky, he was good, but he wasn't John Wall, he wasn't
Right.
Tyreek Evans, he wasn't Derrick Rose. It wasn't
yeah,
like that. And then OKC showed they believed in him by trading for him. They traded
Mm-hmm.
PG to bring him in. So to
yeah,
me, there's a level of humbleness that he has that like it permeates around the rest of the guys. J-Dub, like you said, late lottery pick. Guys like
Mm-hmm.
that typically don't become stars. So for all these
hmm,
guys to become stars together, you could see that real brotherhood. They're like a professional college team. Like
They
they
are.
really
Yep.
operate like young guys coming up together. Those are the teams that usually stick together and do big things. If you think
Right.
of the Spurs with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker, right? Duncan
Mm-hmm.
was the man, but Duncan always been a humble guy, right? And then Parker and Ginobili were stars that came up through the system. They didn't come into the league as stars. And look at
Mm-hmm.
what they did. They dominated for 20 years and won 5 chips in that 20-year span. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, or Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen didn't come into the league as a star. He grew
Right.
into a star. So
Mm-hmm.
when it happens that way, those seem to be the teams that organically grow. So
Mm-hmm.
OKC definitely has something that could be special.
Right. And I just want to add to this incredible playoff run that they had. They had 84 wins, including the
Wow.
playoffs. They was tied with the 96-97 Bulls for third most wins in a season.
Crazy.
Do y'all
yeah,
know who was the first?
yeah.
Let me
Number
test,
one,
let me
number
test
Number
one,
y'all
one,
knowledge.
number
Yeah.
one
number
Number
was
one.
one, who had the most total wins in a season,
It
including
would
playoffs? Which team?
have to be the 72 team, right?
yeah, the
72,
Bulls.
72 and 10? 96
What?
team?
Wait. I got two different answers.
No,
This,
it's the Golden State Warriors that won 73, but they didn't win a chip. But they won 73. They was one win shy. So they got
true. That makes
15.
sense. Yeah, that
So
sounds right.
you picking Warriors? Will you pick
Yeah,
Segiro? You pick
You see, I think it's what Mel said, or it could be tied between them because it's this 96 Bulls won 72 games, and then
yeah,
they won the finals. But back then there was only 3 wins you had to get in the first round,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
might be tied between those two teams.
which one you going with? Go with your gut.
I'm gonna say it's tied between those two teams.
Nope. First was the 95-96 Bulls. 87
Really?
wins. 87.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
okay.
Yes.
And
Yes. They
what
was
is what?
72-10 regular season. It was
Uh-huh.
15-3 in the playoffs.
And then and
Okay.
then and then the Warriors that won 73 games.
I believe they was second. I didn't check. I just wanted to see who was first, and
Yeah,
they
they
was
was
They were
third.
second.
second. I was
So
watching something about it earlier. Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
Okay.
and
yeah.
they got 64 wins by 10 or more points. That was most in the season, including the playoffs, by any team
Ever,
in
right?
NBA history.
Yeah,
So
this
Okay.
team.
statistically, this Thunder team was one of the best teams in NBA history
To
to
ever do it.
regular
Yeah.
season and playoffs, man. So shout, and they so young,
They're
24,
Yeah.
so
average 24
young.
years of age. I think the oldest one on there is Caruso.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like what?
Shea
Shea
turns 27 in
27.
July.
Yeah,
Chet's like 23. J-Dub's
J
like
Dub
24.
24. It's crazy. It's
Young
crazy.
boys.
It's hard to win, back to back because I don't think it was a back to back winner since the
Right.
last
Since the
8 years
Since the
Warriors.
or something like
Warriors.
since
Since the
Warriors days.
Warriors.
So,
Since the KD Steph
we
Warriors.
we gonna see.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Moving on. What we got next?
Well, since we talked about the finals, I mean, we could tap on the Halliburton injury, and then I mean all these
Mm-hmm.
Achilles injuries. I mean, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad that he got hurt because I would have liked to see that game 7 with the Pacers at full strength. Haliburton, like we mentioned earlier, he got up to a hot start.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to put an asterisk next to OKC's win. But I do believe Haliburton would have made a difference, especially because when he kills, they usually
They
win.
usually win.
And he
Yeah.
was off to
And
a
he,
hot start. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Shake, he did his thing, but that's my only thing with that. But I mean, Halliburton injury, but it's also you combine Lillard, Tatum, and all these other Achilles injuries that happen this year. It's just too many Achilles
yo,
injuries, man. This is
Yeah.
not good. This is not good.
I think
This
they
is
Yeah.
not
said
good.
I think they said it was 8 this year.
Yeah.
That's the most in the season ever. The next most was, I believe, 5. So it's almost 75% more Achilles injuries happen. And then we had stars too. Tatum, like Mel said, Tatum, Lillard, and Halliburton.
Halliburton.
And
Hold on one second, y'all. Keep going.
Yeah.
they all wear number 0 too, which is kind of
That
weird.
was crazy. And the thing about it, well, outside of Tatum, like, a lot of these guys, they had injuries like, like the same thing with KD tore his. It's a calf injury. They try to play
It
through it
starts
and
with
then they boom.
it
You
starts
know
with
what
the
I'm saying?
calf,
So
and then it trickles
yeah,
down.
man.
I was actually doing a little bit of research because it's like, yo, this Achilles stuff is getting crazy. So I started
Yeah.
reading about it. The Achilles is the strongest tendon in the human body, and it could withstand 12 times more than our body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, your Achilles could withstand 1,200 pounds.
That's crazy.
But
That's
somehow,
Yeah,
some
man.
way, the
it
pressure,
finds a way to
it
tear.
yeah, it still
Yeah,
tears.
man.
But the
That's
Achilles is the strongest tendon in the human body.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So just imagine that if the Achilles is the strongest tendon in the human body,
Have
imagine the amount of work it has to do, right? Because when you look at these Achilles injuries, more so than none, they come from the calf, right? Kevin
Yeah,
Durant came from the calf. So it's like, okay, you got this calf muscle or whatever muscle
the
that
calf strain. Yeah.
constitutes the calf strain.
Yeah.
That is inoperational, right? So now your Achilles maybe is working times 2 times the 1,200, right? So
Yeah,
that's why I'm thinking why, because if you say that, it's like, why is these things popping like that?
yeah.
Because it has to
It's
overcompensate for what you say, Mel?
now, because remember I tore mine. So
Yeah.
what happens though, like with Halliburton and even them, like especially like when you got the calf injury, they all surround the Achilles. So
Mm-hmm.
if those things is weakened and it is hurt, when you're planting, like a lot of times you see it's when they plant. Because even
When they
with me, when I
plant.
tore mine, I was planting, about
Mm-hmm.
to try to blow by somebody, and boom. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
when the surrounding like muscles and stuff be injured or weakened or whatever, it's when you do that plant that
Mm-hmm.
it expands, and that's when you even see Halliburton, like the rupture. You can see the
Yeah,
rupture,
you
like
could see it.
you know
Yep.
what I mean? That's what happens because it's like stuff is not strong around it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like when it expands because of that, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where you get the rupture.
You see,
So
we're getting the medical advice from Mel because Mel been through it.
Nah, for real, for real, for real.
yeah,
Been through that shit.
There's a lot of studies on it because I think what ultimately happens is the calf is supporting the Achilles. So if the calf is not
yeah,
strong enough to
Right.
withstand the
To
stress,
withstand.
the
Mm-hmm.
Achilles is taking up a lot of the brunt force, and that's when
Mm-hmm.
you just see the trickle down effect.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I was talking to a couple folks about why do we think more of them are happening, and I really think it's because the way the game is played today. Today you have to cover more space than ever. Dudes shoot from right
From
over
outs.
half.
Right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, remember, like 20, 30 years ago, the game was played in the paint. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
kickouts was long twos. They wasn't even threes. You know what
Right.
I
yeah,
mean? Jordan, mid range. Everything was mid range, mid range. So like you didn't have to cover a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like although today obviously the game is not as physical from a fouling standpoint, the
Mm-hmm.
stress on the human body is way different. They do so
Mm-hmm.
much more cardio today, so much left to right, so
yeah,
much curls and all this stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
the human body's not catching up. It's like inflation on the body. Like
Mm-hmm.
today, right? Like everything costs more, but our jobs are not paying more to keep up with it. Same
Right.
yeah,
thing with like basketball. Everybody has to cover more space, but the human body doesn't know that. The human body's still what it is. We're all built the
Right.
same. So we
Mm-hmm.
can't keep up with that. So these guys are doing a lot more running, a lot more moving, a lot more cutting and pivoting. Big
Mm-hmm.
men have to step out to three to contest. So it's
yeah.
just a
Mm-hmm.
lot more stress on the body, and dudes is just breaking down.
Right.
Y'all don't think
And
it's the
you
shoes?
say Huh?
I don't think it's
Y'all
the
not
shoes,
buying
bro.
anything with the shoes?
I
Dudes was
mean,
wearing dudes was wearing low tops in the 80s. Zeke used to wear low tops. Like dudes were
yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
low
You,
tops. Kobe
you
just
funny
made
thing,
it popular.
I told my Achilles to pair of Kobe's.
Oh
I told
Lord.
my shit to pair of yo, I'll never forget it. The All-Star Kobe 10s. I
Oh
told my
Lord.
shit in the All-Star Kobe 10s, man.
But I
I don't
saw
think it's the
somewhere
shoes,
I
bro.
saw somewhere they said like statistically low cuts are better than high tops as far as obviously
Yeah,
mobility
yeah,
wise.
I think
It's
it's because of
yeah,
better.
range of motion. Your
Yeah.
feet
So,
moves a
but
lot
you know,
more
to us
normally.
ballers, I'm like playing on no
We
low
grew up, yeah,
top.
we
Yeah, I'm
grew
like
up
my
on
ankles,
mid,
B.
yeah, we
Like,
grew up on
yeah,
mid and high tops. Dudes did
yeah,
not.
yeah,
That low
I
top
ain't
yeah,
joint is
doing that.
still low top joint
But
is still
yeah,
yeah,
mentally
man, you
scary.
know, prayers out to Halliburton, man, the speedy recovery. You know, him, Jason Tatum,
Yeah,
Damian Lillard, they both, you know, seemingly may be out for the whole of next year.
they're probably all the way
yeah,
out. Yeah,
So you know,
yeah.
speedy
They
because
gotta
like you
chill
say,
for sure.
Halliburton, he was killing, man. He was off to us. He didn't have he had
Yeah,
9 points, no assists. He
yeah,
bro,
wasn't even scoring the ball. I
he
mean,
was
yeah,
passing the
shooting
ball.
that thing
yeah,
and
He was
talking his
shooting that.
shit.
He was like,
yeah,
I'm
He,
going out blazing in game 7.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and
Salute to Halle.
I salute him
Yes.
also because, and I was talking when I was at the in-laws, I was like, yo, they must have told him, right? Like, yo, Allie, you go out there, you have a high risk of tearing your Achilles.
yeah.
Right? They must have medical
They
staff had to
did. You
tell him.
could tell because he did a post game conference like a day before the final before Game 7, and he said I know the risk,
The
and the way he
risk.
said it, you could tell he had a conversation like, yo, there is a chance this could happen, and he said
Right.
I know the
Yeah,
risk. So
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
brings up this next question I want to, should he had played game 7 or should he have
absolutely
stayed out game 7?
had to play. For a couple of reasons why he had to play. One, he already got the max deal. That's signed, delivered. His legs could fall off tomorrow. He's getting that 200 million. So it's not
Uh-huh.
like he had to worry about, yo, what if, blah, 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 I won't get my deal. So the deal is
Mm-hmm.
there. And
Yeah,
then he may never get back to this point again. And for the rest of his life, he would have been thinking, I should have played. What if I played? What if I
Mm-hmm.
played? To the point where that might have
yeah,
haunted his mental throughout the rest of his professional career. He
Mm-hmm.
couldn't not play because he played game 6 and made it through game 6. He would have now been saying, damn, I could have possibly made it through game 7. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. He had to play. He had to play. He had
I
to
I
don't.
play.
think
I don't.
I
It was
think
game 7. He made
I
it through, but
think
he had to.
I think he should have played, yes, but I think he shouldn't have started. I think Carlisle should have used that man in some sort of spurts, knowing the risk that you can take. Now you out for a whole year now, and we don't know how his body could heal. It could be
Yeah.
more. We don't
Yeah.
know his
Mm-hmm.
body.
Mm-hmm.
So now for 7 minutes of gameplay, you out for a whole 82 game season and
And
maybe more or
probably
less.
playoffs. Yeah, he's
So
probably out all next year. Yeah.
I just think
Yeah,
like
you have to.
he
Like
should have
with the
played,
Achilles
yeah, play,
injuries.
but
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, Hallie, let's come off the bench. I give you such a man. If you playing a little bit, okay, keep you in. Because if you look at Halliburton, he controls the tempo, but he doesn't control scoring. Even though he was off to a good start, but he's not known to be a scorer. Let that McCullough, what's his name? McCullough, that little tiny mother lover.
TJ McCollum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let TJ go in there, get some
McCollum.
little points.
yeah.
All right, Halliburton, come on, give control the game. I just think, man, and I know y'all saying like, yo, game 7, do it, but I'm not saying not play. I just think knowing the severity of what could have happened, let him come off the bench. Let him hit that chair while he on the bench, loosen up, go out there. I think he should have managed him a little better. Because you're still playing in the game 7. And then if
Yeah.
you close, all right, Hallie, go out. Fuck it, if you tear it, nigga, we need to hit a scoring bucket, tear your Achilles, do that. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
It is
It's
tough.
tough for the boy.
I'm gonna make just a final comment on it. If you're gonna play, it don't
You
matter
got
off the bench. That shit would have happened, bro.
it's
So
gonna
either
happen.
you're gonna play or not.
Just think
The
about
way
it.
basketball is,
He
there
had
is no
all,
way to tiptoe around that.
yeah.
The way the cuts and how you gotta move, and the way he tore it was
Yeah.
that
It
don't
was
matter. That's not about starting.
That's not
Like
about
Right.
when
starting.
you
That's not
tear
about
the
minutes.
Achilles,
That's just it
it's
was
at the
gonna
limit.
happen.
Like when you tear it, it's like, or when you rupture it, it's gonna happen. That could happen just in the crib.
That
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the
Like
way that happened
so,
to him, that was gonna happen in
yeah,
some work, unless he rested it fully. That was gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen in a workout, in a practice, at some point, because that was just a natural motion. Like
Mm-hmm.
my
yeah.
faith in
That's
my
how it
body
is though.
go.
They're
Yeah.
always non-contact though.
Yeah.
Achilles injuries is never like, oh, somebody pushed me. It's
Yeah.
always non-contact. So,
So unless
you
he
know,
took the next month off to rest his calf, at some point it would have happened. It
Right.
yeah.
just sucks. It literally happened the last game of the season. There was no
Mm.
tomorrow. If
No.
he could
Yeah.
have got through this game, then he would have been resting for the summer, and he would have been good. But
I know
that's
one
Yeah.
thing for certain. They ain't gonna call him overrated now.
yeah. He
They ain't
Now
gonna
definitely
call
you
him
said
can't,
he
you
overrated
can't, you
now.
can't after this run. No,
Right. Shout out
but
to
salute,
Haliburton. Oh, there you
salute
go.
to him.
shout out to Haliburton though.
There you go. Hold
Uh,
up. While we do that,
What
hold
the
on.
uh,
hell?
We're gonna get our all right. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
yeah.
What's next up?
Next up, I mean, because we got a big topic, so we're gonna try to get through these other small ones. So I mean,
Oh,
yo, Morrow, what up?
what's going on, man?
Morrow, how you doing, brother? Nice to meet you.
Peace, brother. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Y'all
sir.
good? That's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
That's
get
what's up.
Yeah,
settled in, brother. Get settled in.
yeah.
What's that you got? What
The,
jersey is that? That look like a Charlotte jersey. What is that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
this a pro am. Shout out to Queen City Pro Am, bro. This
Oh, okay.
Coach Malcolm Sanders
All
is
right. All right, we got
all
next.
Lonzo
right.
Cole.
Smell. You missed two
Um.
of the topics, and we'll cover them later, but we good. Go ahead,
All right, it's
man.
all good.
Okay.
What's going
So
on? I'll catch up.
yeah. So who y'all think will win the chip next year?
Oh,
Ooh, and you can start that off.
Yeah.
we already
I
talked
know who
about
not going to the chip next year. But I'll go there later. But I really feel like Denver's still in the mix for sure. OKC, of course, they're the favorites. If Denver's healthy, they're gonna be the only real. Minnesota, I still say they gotta make a move. Like
for
I
sure.
think they should have really thrown their hat in that. They should have really thrown their hat in that KD
And
thing.
KD.
that KD
Figure that out.
thing.
They should have really went hard. They should have been a number one team he was trying to go to. I don't think they pushed hard enough for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got pieces and they got picks. Like you could have went and got him. You
hmm
can't let Houston go do that. You know what I'm saying? So I
Houston
feel
Mm-hmm.
ain't
like they
playing
kind
though.
of dropped the ball with that because Houston was really aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio was really aggressive. But that's the piece y'all need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Ant-Man can play, Bro could go over there and average 26, which is what he been doing for the last 1,000 years. You know what I mean? And
Right.
he spring chicken, but I'll give up. If I'm Minnesota, I'm giving up round picks and a couple second round picks. And I'm about to give up like Jaden McDaniels and somebody you may not,
Whatever
one of them developing guy.
to make the money work. Yeah.
I'm good with
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
New
You know
York,
what?
but
I feel like people are when they giving, we giving our next year odds. Why nobody mentioning Cavs?
The Cavs, because you just can't believe in them. Like they just keep falling short every time. Like
Why? They lost to Indiana, but granted, they had three of their starters missing. You can't win nothing with three of your starters missing. Why nobody meant they won like damn near 70 games.
with
Nobody mentioning Cavs to be in the finals.
I'm
Come
not gonna
on,
front
You ain't
guys.
even let
with
everybody get through their picks though. And just to make say
No,
Segiro ain't good nobody. So you don't
you
know if
know
the Cavs
why?
would have
Because
came up.
you know what? I knew none of y'all mother lovers gonna say Cavs, so I just wanted to say, yo, why nobody gonna
I'm not
say
gonna
Cavs?
lie, with all due respect to Donovan Mitchell, I don't think people believe he could be the best player on the championship team. So I just
I
think
mean, he's had ample
people
opportunities. He's had ample
I just
opportunities
I
in
just
Utah and Cleveland.
he's talented, he's nice, but there's levels to this shit. You really gotta have a real
yo,
MVP level dude to win a chip. Like he really gotta be
yo,
top five, like no debate.
I'm gonna be
If he's
funny.
winning a chip, like we could talk about the last like 30 teams to win a championship. They got like a top five consensus dude. Like it's not even a
Yeah,
question. Unless you were like Detroit one year, you just crazy nice with the defense. But outside of that, Shea,
D- d-
Jokic, Giannis, LeBron, KD, Steph. I'm naming all-time greats. These is not
yeah.
just like you gotta have one of them guys.
So
And I
yo,
don't
the thing,
Donovan Mitchell's nice, but he's
Spider,
not that.
Spider is yo. You
the
got
thing is,
Allen Iversons and you got T Max, man. You feel me? You got Allen Iverson
bro, don't
and you
even
got
mention with the
G.
topic we on. Don't mention them two people.
He's talking.
Now
You
I'm
feel
just
me?
saying,
Don't
Spider
fix that for
Mitchell
me.
is
No,
on
I
some
feel
T
you.
Mac
No,
joint. Nigga
nah,
keep losing.
don't ever compare him to bro.
No, I'm not
Don't ever
comparing them
compare him to
like literally. I'm just saying like, yo, some people they get to the
No, you saying like
promised
some people
land.
just ain't gonna win. Nah, I
Yeah, some
think
niggas
Donovan Mitchell
just
gonna
come up short. Like it's
no,
like,
I think he will win a championship with somebody as a
Yeah,
two.
if he's the
He's not a
two,
one.
So they
and
could
yeah,
just
He's not a one.
cross roads. Okay, Mobley,
Yeah,
you could
because
be
like
the star and Donovan be the second
bro,
star.
if he scores 60 in a playoff game, I'm impressed.
yeah,
He's
if it's
capable of
game
doing that,
Five.
Mitchell.
No, look, no. If it's game 6 and he scores 60 in the playoff game, I'm
Oh, okay.
impressed.
Uh-huh.
Now, do I think that they could go back to Cleveland or something and win the game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals? I'm looking at the game like that 60 don't even matter. But
Mm-hmm.
if Steph scores 60 in the game 6 and they going back home, I'm like, they gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because you
expect
could
out of Donovan
because
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, you're saying, hasn't proven himself as
I
that
don't
elite.
know. Like they was like work really hard. I rock with him. But I'm like, bro, like he one of those guys that ain't just got over that hump of being like, we know when he coming. I don't care if you average 26. I need to see it when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
it's
I'm
just
saying?
yeah, it's
And
just
I
Y'all
I don't
unlike
have it
disrespectful,
from him
man.
all the time.
Y'all some three disrespectful black
since
motherfuckers.
since you brought up the
what the
Cavs, I
fuck
got a
do we
question.
think?
I said I show love to him,
Yo,
bro.
Since
I'm
y'all
just
since,
saying.
since y'all brought up the Cavs, I got a question for y'all.
yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron gonna be a free agent this summer. What would y'all think if he said, "I'm gonna go back to Cleveland"?
LeBron, I don't give a rag
I ain't
shit
gonna
about
lie.
Braun.
If
What if
LeBron
Braun
said he
tried
going
to
back to
do that?
Cleveland, I'll tell
Come
him,
on, bro.
yo, retire now.
You don't think
Retire now.
because you don't think he could do it, or you think that would just be a corny move at this point?
Bro,
Because,
LeBron is like
yo,
85 years old, man. Why we talk about
I'm
LeBron?
saying
Well, we're
so.
going to talk about Braun, but why we
If
talking
your
about Braun
if your
now?
starting
Hey, you
lineup
know
is
what? That's kind of crazy because, like, I'm thinking about it.
because remember the East is broken down next year.
The East
yeah,
is
The East
wide
is
open
trash
next
next
year.
year.
It,
If
So
he,
that's
so
why
I
I'm
don't think he
saying
go.
why
I
y'all
don't think.
disrespecting Cavs and the East is wide open.
nobody
I don't.
No, but
disrespected him.
if you add in that element though, like if he say, "All right, this is my last year," he didn't establish everything in LA that he need to do. He
Yeah,
already done with that. He already won the
Already
yeah,
set
chip. He
up.
got the
Yeah.
business, the
yeah.
movies, and all this. So it's like
If he said year
I'll just
23,
finish up in Cleveland when I
Cleveland,
know we're going to the playoffs. Everybody down. Boston, Milwaukee. Who else
Indiana,
hurt over there?
Halliburton hurt now.
Indiana with
Bro,
Tyrese
LeBron
guy,
gonna be
but all of them, I
43
don't think
years
he'll
old.
say,
We serious?
bro, he go back over there, bro. They the number one seed in the East, bro.
Oh my God.
Easy.
Wait, I ain't even hold on. Before we even
I had them number
I'm
one in the East
Because
fucking
before,
mad
though.
at y'all motherfuckers.
Morrow just said it, bro. Just said if you slide
Who gonna be who the
down,
seed? I
if you
like
slide
the
Donovan Mitchell
Hornets
to
might.
number
You
two.
got the jersey on. The Hornets might make the playoffs, like 6 seed next year. Real shit. Think
But
about
bro, you said
Hey,
everybody's done.
you said you mad. Then why you mad though? Like, bro, what's good?
I'm Segiro. Who your pick? Who you got for the finals next year? We ain't even talking about old ass LeBron, 85 years old
I
dinosaur.
always try to answer these
They
questions
could
like
be.
if I had to like put if I got the answer right, I'll win $10 million. So if I had to think about it that way, I'm picking OKC. But let's say we don't pick OKC. Anybody else? I got to see what Denver does because Jokic is really him, and they really like
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, Jokic. I think they got to get rid of Michael Porter Jr. He's a good player, but he's just not enough, and he's too
Yeah, last
expensive
year he was
for
horrible.
what they pay him. He don't do
Hey, if he
enough for
didn't
them.
have that back
Yeah.
injury though, bro, in
Yeah,
college,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was supposed
yo.
to be.
what?
I don't know if y'all ever seen
He
him
was.
like coming out of high school.
Yeah, he was supposed to
He
be
Yeah,
like
He
the
no, he
had
was
guy.
like that.
hops.
he
He
was
was like
like
that.
that. But I think
Yeah,
Got
that
that
back
back
injury
injury,
really
man.
messed him up. He never got to really play at Missouri, and it just
Cold.
wasn't the same. But some was tough.
Right.
But Denver and I don't know. So let's see what the Lakers do. If the Lakers get a center and one extra piece,
That's crazy.
The
Luca,
Lakers, bro.
bro, Luke,
Here,
see, it's
here go
crazy
old
how
ass
people.
Braun again in the
But
conversation.
Braun is number two. Luca's the one. Like
Segiro,
that's tough.
you are about to get the whoa plate of.
No, you know what?
To
No, you know
win the
what? Let me
chip,
stop.
I
Let me
think
stop.
we
Segiro,
forgetting how good Luca is. I'm not saying they're gonna win it, but I'm just saying I'm not. Let's see what they do. If they can get a center, if they can get a lob threat for Luca, and if they can add one or two pieces to the bench to like keep the scoring up when Braun and him sit,
Mhm.
I'm
And
I
you know
could
what?
talk
I'm
about
not going to
that.
be that guy because I picked Lakers as one
because
of the teams to go to
I
the
do
finals
think Luke
last
is
year.
on a revenge tour next year. He's been
I hope
disrespected.
so.
He got traded. People calling him fat. People putting Shea over him. People putting Tatum over. I think Luke is definitely a dog. He's coming back. I think next year's the year he gets that MVP.
Who
That's
Next
you
the
year is
got,
the
Laker
year
Mel?
he
fan
gets that
Segiro
MVP.
talking.
But no, I
Me?
swear it's not. It's not.
All
Who you
right.
got, Mel? Finals.
Me, I ain't gonna lie, man.
G.
Finals.
Oh, great. Great.
All right. I know. See, I would have liked to roll Dallas in the mix, but I don't know if Kyrie with the knee will have enough time to get back to
Yeah, I think he's
himself.
gonna.
That's the only
No.
reason.
Yeah, he's
You
gonna
know what I
need.
mean? So
Yeah,
with the Kyrie
Dallas is tough.
factor, I don't know, but
Dallas is
Yeah.
very tough.
Dallas is around, but um, honestly, I feel me personally, I just feel like it's wide open
How
overall.
y'all feel
In the
about the
West,
Rockets?
in the
KD there.
West,
Yeah.
wide open.
How y'all feel about the Rockets?
The West ain't wide open.
The West ain't
OKC
wide
got
open.
that
The
down.
East is wide
Niggas
open.
is
So hold
The
on.
East
So
is
the East is wide open, but in the West,
in
so
the East.
who's for sure in the West though? Who's for sure?
Well, you got to look at the
The
teams in the
Thunder.
West. In the top, you got OKC, you got
Yeah.
Houston now, you got
Nah.
LA, right? You got
Denver.
Denver,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you got don't sleep on what's that
You still got Memphis. You still got Memphis
no
Memphis?
in the mix.
no not Memphis, Minnesota. You still
Memphis?
got Minnesota,
Memphis?
Minnesota,
but
but
that's
Memphis
five.
still in the mix.
That's
Yeah.
Memphis
five.
is not in the mix. They're in the toilet bowl. They are
Memphis,
in the
No, they're not
toilet.
going to.
Memphis.
yeah,
Memphis
They
Memphis
is
is
still got their
trash.
two
way.
They gave
stars. They
away their
still got
second best
Jared. They
player in
still got
Bane.
Hold on.
They traded
bro.
him.
He's the best player, bro. They got John Morant and they
No, they
got Jaren
second best.
Jackson,
They
bro.
second best.
Hold on. Those two, what are they gonna get them?
Jaren Jackson, bro.
Jared Jackson, their second best player.
Nah, he
But I'm
ain't.
saying,
Yeah,
where where's
they still got their future. They not breaking it up right now. Now if they trade one of them, now you back in you in the toilet bowl, like you going
but
back in the
like
straight reach.
but
You know what
my
I'm
thing
saying?
is
You
they
bringing
just
it
got
back
them
now,
too. They just got them too. Where they going?
bro.
Where
Yeah,
they going?
They
Memphis went backwards, man. They went backwards.
Yeah,
Backwards.
where
Now,
they
they
gave him too
going?
many picks and they gave Desmond Baines, but everybody acting like Desmond Baines was like Kobe Bryant or something. I'm
I
like,
mean, he's
bro,
a
they can go
20
find another one of them
Nah.
plus point
guys in
game
the draft.
scorer.
They can
Even if
find
he
that.
stayed, they wasn't doing nothing. They was going to the same place
Bro,
with or without Bane.
And he's
To
like a
me,
40
bro.
some percent 3-point
They would
shooter.
be a
Like,
top. They'll be a
that's
fifth or
tough to
sixth seed in
lose.
the West.
John
It's hard
Morant
to
don't
get.
have it all together though. Son is a knucklehead.
Bro,
Get your mom right.
All
Stop
right, hold
thinking it's
on.
Grand
he
Theft
been looking
Auto.
crazy lately, man. He all right, man.
So listen, so do you put Memphis over Minnesota? You put Memphis
No,
over
no,
Minnesota?
nah.
no way.
Minnesota,
No.
No,
Okay, let's
Minnesota
look
has
like
two
that.
more.
Do you
Minnesota
put
over there.
Memphis
Yeah.
over LA?
No,
Nah,
Okay. Do you put
No,
Memphis
right.
over Houston?
No,
nah,
Memphis over
no,
Denver?
no.
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 What are we talking about then?
So I just said they'd be a fifth or sixth seed. I ain't put them
You
on
Wait,
no
did
hold
limit
on.
that.
team.
Memphis
And
over Golden
you
State?
did.
I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe.
I don't
Nah, I'm
know.
pick.
I
Yeah.
got to
I
see
pick
what
Golden
Golden State look
State.
like, bro. They got because what
Yeah.
kind of plays can you?
Golden State need to get a damn center. They got to stop playing Draymond at the five. Like they keep doing that to him. Like that man is
Yeah.
6'5",
Yeah, they can't
6'6".
keep doing it. Yeah,
They
they
can't
can't.
keep
Yeah.
playing him
Yeah.
as
The
the
thing is,
center.
this
Yeah.
the fact that's a good point, G. Like they playing him at the five for him to feel comfortable,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
not for the betterment of the
of
like
the
Denver. Like it's not for
yeah,
the
Yeah.
betterment of the team playing against a team
No,
like
yeah.
Denver
They got
or
to get him back.
Houston.
They
Now,
got to get him back to the four and get a real five, like somebody that
absolutely.
like
has
if
a.
they get if they get like to the semis or the Western Conference Finals against Houston,
Yeah.
and you got to guard KD at the. They can put KD at the five, put
Yeah,
Gun at the four. Now, who gonna guard him? You gonna put Draymond on KD
not
with 3
happening.
minutes left in the fourth? Like,
Not
come on, bro,
Yeah,
it's
happening.
gonna get nasty.
that's
Not
yeah.
Come on,
happening.
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
Not
me?
happening.
All right.
But
All
yeah,
right. Yeah.
I mean,
You gotta figure that out.
and
You right about that.
Porzingis just went got traded to Atlanta. By the way, got to
I
know.
just saw that. Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah,
He
and
got you for
Porzingis
Atlanta for
traded
I
to
didn't
who?
even see
Atlanta.
that.
That was a
Breaking
smart
news.
move.
it's breaking news. It just came through.
Yeah,
He got traded to
that was a
Atlanta for
smart
who?
move. Smart move
So
by
that's good
For
Boston.
though for
who?
Trey.
For who though?
Yeah,
I
who
gotta
that?
look.
Atlanta.
I don't. Yeah, I don't got my computer, so I
Who
can't.
the Atlanta trade?
Let me check right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we might as well go into the next segment as far as the trades. So bringing that up. So NBA
Let's go.
trades. I mean, Porzingis to Atlanta. Good riddance. Boston breaking it all up. First Drew
Yeah.
Holiday. Now
That's
Porzingis.
crazy.
I mean, You know, they crashing out right now. They're like, we ain't doing nothing without this man,
Bro,
so we might as well stay on the luxury tax.
that cap sheet was getting too expensive. They got two $300 million players on the team. Two.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
Come on,
bread.
Boston.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
they
They
got to
tripping.
start.
They
I mean,
tripping.
I ain't even mad at that because you can't determine what the market is.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
but it's got to be worth it right now.
I don't think Boston need to do nothing. Like, okay, the Porzingis trade, okay, I understand, okay.
They
But
traded you
other than
higher than
that,
Porzingis so far, yeah.
still, yeah, like don't do like just because Jason Taylor got okay, cool. Now Jaylen Brown, let's see if you the guy.
Yeah,
Can
let's
you
see
beat
what
the
you
Yeah,
could
guy?
do.
yeah.
They still a
That's
Mm.
playoff
true.
team. I just
That's
don't think
true.
it's not like ironclad like Milwaukee, Boston, Cleveland. Like it ain't gonna be like
Mm.
that in the East now.
Yeah.
And I'm cool
Yeah,
with it. I'm here for all that because I want to see who's really who.
So
yeah,
Atlanta
here's the
gonna make.
for
I
sure.
feel like,
well, here's a trade
huh?
breakdown. They traded him to the Celtics. The Celtics going to receive George's Niang and a second round pick in return, and the Hawks are sending Terrence Mann and a 22nd overall pick to the Nets to complete the trade. So it's a 3-team trade
Oh, it's a 3-team trade.
with the
Terrence
Nets.
Okay.
Mann going where? To the Nets.
Terrence Mann is going to the Nets. Yeah.
So
All
he gonna
right,
get
all
right.
right.
He gonna be able to get right over there.
Yeah,
And Hawks
okay.
got Porzingis
I
a
like
second round pick, and Celtics got
George
Niang
Niang, you
and
said?
a second round pick.
He's the center, right?
George Yang. Yeah,
Who?
yeah. He like a power forward kind of
Yeah.
swing power three,
Okay.
four,
But they was
five.
talking about that. They was like, because they was like, who you think gonna be next? They was like Porzingis because I guess
Yeah,
with the salary cap in these
He
tiers
gotta
that
be.
they got now, so they said having offloading Porzingis will bring them under, I think, tier 2 or something as far as salary cap is concerned. So
yeah.
they can still. I think they just gearing up. They is looking like they
What
just taking this season as a loss, gearing up all the assets and cap
what
room to
they
go
so
when.
what they won the chip last year, right? Because remember they had a long run. They made like 6 conference finals going back to like
Yeah,
when
and
Bron
two
was
Yeah.
there.
back to
So
back
they
finals.
had
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
this Tatum injury lets them hit the reset button to go through the second half of their career, him and Jaylen Brown. So
yeah.
like this is a wash.
Right.
Now we're gonna rebuild this team again to try to win for
But
the
you
second
know
half of
what's
our career.
crazy about that too? If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm feeling disrespected a little bit.
Why? Because
I
you feel like
am.
they're just tapping out in the season?
Why you feel like
Yeah.
that?
Like because like because if you look at Tatum and Brown, some people will say a lot of people say Brown is better than Tatum. There's some people out there that will say that, right? So now it's like, okay, Tatum goes down, so you don't got faith in me to be the number one to see if I could take this team at least back to the conference finals or make a run. Y'all just blowing it up and leaving me with a shitty team. So you practically saying
I
this
understand
year's
that
a
perspective.
wash, So it's
Yeah,
kind of disrespectful. Like, yo, I'm Jaylen Brown.
I
Like, I am a
understand that
Finals
perspective. Yeah,
MVP. Like, y'all, that's kind of disrespectful to me. I'm looking at it like, y'all don't got faith in me.
yeah.
Y'all trading away the whole team. Y'all ain't got faith in me, bro. Y'all. So I'm
See,
feeling slightly,
They they
disrespected.
Slighted.
traded they
Yeah,
traded for they traded Porzingis.
yeah.
And
So
Drew
it's
So
not
Holiday
like,
though. That's two
but
starters they
but they
gave away.
traded Drew.
but
Two
we
So they're
got
looking
starters.
towards the future. They did
yeah, but
trade
you
Drew.
also got
Yeah,
to
that's
be
correct.
honest. Drew is starting to slow down. Like if you paid attention last
Yeah,
year, he's starting to slow
that's
down.
my brother.
And Drew is dumb nice. That's one of my favorite basketball players ever. Like left hand, right. Like
Yeah,
he's it. But
but he
he's just
like
a
38
he been in the league for like
or
16
yeah.
36 or
He
years.
said
something
he's
like
about.
that.
He's
No
35. He
disrespect.
said he's 35.
Yeah,
Aging
That's
him,
my
35.
man.
yeah.
brother.
Drew is
No, I'm
getting
sorry,
toward. You
man.
know what I
I'm
mean?
39, man. So I'm aging everybody. I'm good. So
Yeah,
you
Drew's
get
getting towards
40
the
this
end,
shit. Everybody
and
40.
then
Yeah,
Porzingis just can't stay healthy. So like
yeah,
you better off to get
Yeah.
off of that before it's just like you
And he
can't
has
get
some
him
kind of ailment that they can't
that
figure
they
out what it
can't even
is.
figure out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
That's crazy.
I just
That's
think I
nasty.
think those trades was the Celtics just saying we got to be honest with ourselves. We're not in position to win. Let's try to like make smart moves before it's too late. More
If
than
I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm averaging 40
yeah,
next
it's like
season.
Jalen Brown, go do you, right? And remember, Jalen Brown
he
40.
just
go
had
rock.
surgery. Jalen just had surgery on his knee, so he got to get healthy before he could think about going to
That's
average
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
30.
he
Yeah,
did.
that's
yeah,
You know
true.
what I mean? So
yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't like if y'all
You gotta go
remember
average like you got. He got to go out there and at least average. He gonna have to.
yeah,
It's gonna have to be one of them 29,
yeah,
5,
yeah.
and he's like he got to do
7 type
something different
seasons.
for them to even be like one of those teams that can be considered in contention to
Yeah,
come out the East. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
they will.
I don't think they got enough
But
talent
I'm
to
still
Yeah.
on
come
that
out.
Bron thing though. That Bron thing might happen.
I don't
Like
think Braun gonna leave
I'm,
LA,
I'm, I'm not
but
bringing it back. I don't want to bring it back. But I'm like, if he goes back to
that would
Cleveland
be
now
it would be like
with
storybook
nothing
type
to
shit.
lose,
Yeah.
with the East wide open, and they already gonna be the number 1 seed, and he could go back and be like, you know how
The
Bron
East is
is.
only going to be wide open next year.
Cleveland,
The following
Cleveland.
year, Orlando going to be the number 3
Bron got to
seed.
make everything a spectacle.
Orlando.
So
Nah,
that would
no,
be
I
crazy.
got you on that.
Yeah.
I like that.
But
Orlando third, the 3 seed. You talking about
I would be
Orlando
mad at.
3
Yeah,
seed?
don't sleep on Orlando.
Van
Yeah.
Carroll keeps getting nice. Franz Wagner is nice. I'm not gonna lie. Son could hoop.
Yes,
Desmond
yes.
Bain, obviously, 20 points, shoot the 3 ball well. And then they got somebody else. I'm forgetting one more player, but Orlando's legit.
Orlando got,
Orlando's
yeah, I
definitely could
like
be top
Orlando. I
top
like
three.
They're
how
gonna
they,
put they're gonna put the boy Anthony Black in motion for real now
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
they traded both of their guards. They traded
Yeah.
Cole Anthony and
Yeah.
um, damn, I'm tripping. Jalen
all right.
Suggs.
What we got next, Mel?
So now,
No, Contavious Powell, KCP. That's what you're thinking of.
Oh, he
Um.
trash. He
They
horrible.
traded
Yeah.
they traded
Yeah, he
KCP. Yeah.
horrible.
I'm
He
gonna say
horrible.
because some of
but they
these they
did trade Jalen
coincide with each
Suggs, right?
other.
They traded, yeah.
But the next one, I guess we'll jump into this. Caitlin Clark and Aja Wilson, bro. You said hype or not? You lead that.
Oh
I
no,
need to
because
see
I
where
was
you're
just
going with that.
watching. Cause I haven't watched a WNBA game yet. You know, I saw
Okay.
Caitlin Clark play in college.
Yeah.
I watched that a little
Yeah.
bit, but I haven't seen her play in the NBA yet. So I was like, you know what? The game came on Saturday. I was chilling. Let me watch the game. And it happened to be Aja Wilson versus Caitlin Clark. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, the Aces versus the Fever. So I'm watching
Yeah.
the game, and you know, I'm looking at it because I'm just watching the NBA and the dudes play. That
Yeah.
WNBA game is so far back from obviously for WNBA, but I'm looking at it and I'm looking when they say that we want to get more money, we want to do this, but y'all girls play like shit. Like they
What the
horrible out there. They
so,
trash.
yo,
Yo,
you
they
trying to get us
trash,
Hey,
bro.
man.
They
Yo, they
trash,
been
bro.
ripping us, bro. Yo,
I'm
bro,
Yo,
you
fucking
going
done.
in? They about to really come out with picket signs and all of that. Like, yo,
yo,
like, get
these
these mother
women out
niggas out of
there
here.
is
Yo, they
yo,
about to.
they
Yo, you
trash.
trying to get us
I'm,
banned up here, yo.
no, yo, bro, I'm
Ladies,
telling
ladies,
you,
ladies, ladies. He's being drastic. Listen, ladies, listen,
nah,
listen.
nah,
He's going
His
hard.
words, not mine,
We love
man.
y'all. We love y'all. All
nah.
right, we love y'all.
I'm watching the games. I'm watching the game, and you know, I wanted to be aware of, you know, when we had these conversations and
Mhm.
talking about WNBA and the gameplay, right? Like
Uh-huh.
these, like how Angel Reese, when Lisa Leslie said, "Hey, you gotta learn how to lay up." Bruh, it's
Yeah, that was
like the
bad.
basic rules of some of the girls that's like not the stars. Like this girl named Boston on Fever, nasty. Her and
Nah,
Caitlin,
yeah,
that two-man
Aaliyah
game
Boston. Yeah.
yeah, she
is
nice.
incredible. And they got this other girl
Yeah.
named I think her name is Cunningham on the Fever, some little gritty girl. But Fever on Aces, they got Aja Wilson, and they had this other girl, this dark skin girl. She was nice. I ain't gonna front.
With the point guard, with the braids.
Yeah, the point. There was a point guard. I forgot her name. She's
I
nice. But
forgot
other
her
than
name, but
that,
yeah, with the braid.
I'm
Yeah,
watching the other WNBA players on the team. I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? They out here just not playing. They just looking. I'm like, ooh, it was tough watching. I mean, Caitlin Clark, she did her thing. She had a tough game. Aja Wilson, she shot like 3 for 80. She just couldn't buy a bucket. Like she was just, you know, I'm like, I'm watching. She missing easy layups, and I'm like, I'm getting frustrated. Like I'm watching niggas play. Like, come on, girl, get this shit. But I'm gotta remember it's WNBA. But and watching it, it was interesting to watch a full game. A full game. It
I gotta,
was.
yo, you about to get us banned. Let me holler at
Nah.
the people, man. Let me holler at the people, man, because he's going hard right now.
Listen, you look
Nah,
at Angel Reese.
nah,
Angel
nah, nah,
Reese
yo,
out there
nah, I'm gonna keep it.
trashing it up.
Nah, nah,
Dumpster.
nah.
I'm letting
All right,
G, you go first, bro.
nah, nah. I'm not.
Dumpster. Angel Reese.
Let me
Angel
jump
Reese
in.
is a dumpster right now. She's not a dumpster right
Yo,
now,
bro,
Angel Reese.
yo, bro. All right, hold on.
I'll
Why
go
we talking
last.
about
Go, you
Angel
go.
Reese and we talking about Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark? Where Angel Reese come from?
No,
Because she's
I'm
part
gonna
of the
make a
dumpster
different point.
squad.
I'm gonna make a different point. But bro, go.
I
You go
bet.
first, bro.
Yeah, go ahead,
Because then
Mal.
let me do the PR because he's wilding right now. Listen, ladies, listen. He's bugging. Let me say this though. I do tune into the WNBA games from time to time and say, like my brother said, that was his first game. So if this is your first time watching something, yo, let's do this first time watching something. It's like if you're not familiar with Aja Wilson and you just the first game you watched that she having a bad game, you're gonna say that. Everybody know Aja Wilson is a dog. She had
She's
an off
nice.
game. She had an off
3-time
game
MVP. She's nice.
that game.
She's the
that
best player
particular
in the
game.
league.
She had an off game in maybe the first couple quarters because she came along
Wait, hold
towards
on.
the end.
Correction. I never said A'ja Wilson was trash. I just said she shot like 3 for 80. She had a bad game.
I'm
The game
just,
that
I'm just,
I'd say
I'm
A'ja
just.
Reese is trash. Well, she's put in
Listen,
the
I'm just.
trash can now.
I got
So
you. I got you. I got you. Not to cut you off. I
in
got you.
now,
But
nah,
look,
you good. So
go ahead. Go ahead. Go
it's
ahead. Go ahead.
like, so what I feel like it's like in any league where you can have some players better than others, star players, whatever. I think that what the mistake that we make, that some people make, is trying to compare WNBA to the
To the
NBA.
NBA.
Literally, you can't do that. It's like
Mhm.
we got to remember that. That's why I feel like if you comparing it like that, like, I just seen Steph Curry and them do this, but when I watch WNBA, they doing this. It's like, yeah, because it ain't the same thing. Like you're not gonna
Definitely
compare
not.
Harlem Globetrotters to the NBA. Like it's levels to
No,
everything.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's just
All
it's
right,
like
hold
you.
on. I'm got you. I'm gonna break it down, bro.
Go ahead,
Not to
go ahead.
cut you off, dog.
Nah, go ahead, go ahead, go
So
ahead.
the
Yo,
WNBA,
this
like
dude.
talent wise, is never gonna be the same as the NBA.
Never.
Yeah,
But it's closer. It's they moving towards it because you seeing girls in high school dunking on people now. Like it's really getting towards it. Athleticism in terms of
Everything's
athleticism.
improving. Absolutely.
Yeah, everything is improving. Skill
yeah.
set, of course, shooting, because girls are way more skilled. Like I
Shout
got a
out Juju
training company.
Watkins when she come back.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like Juju, she can
Shorty
play with
is
anywhere. Yeah,
tough.
like I'm not saying she'll be an all-star in the NBA.
But
You know what I'm
she
saying?
can
But
play
I
though.
don't like.
Like
I'm at the point where like I'm like, bro, that's a dead comparison. Like that's dead. We're not even talking about it no more. The WNBA is its own entity now.
Yeah.
So
mhm.
Aja, y'all keep calling her Aja. Her
Asia.
name's Aja.
Aja.
Because she
Aisha.
might be
Naja.
watching.
Aisha.
Aja
I
Wilson.
thought,
She nice
And you
though.
got
She's
Juju
nice.
Watkins coming in,
She gonna
Caitlin
be
Clark.
nice. Caitlin Clark
Yeah,
nice.
Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? And then what's baby girl name? I'm
Who?
tripping right now.
Paige Clark, Paige Becker,
Paige
From
Bukers.
Liberty?
yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
yeah,
She
from
on
but
Liberty.
UConn.
LSU.
She on Liberty. Yeah.
What shorty that just
No,
came
what's
from
baby girl?
UConn?
The one that went to LSU. She played for the
Oh,
Chicago Sky.
Angel
Angel
Reese.
Illinois.
Angel
Reese.
Reese.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese.
Hmm.
Bro,
Trash
they
bucket.
need that storyline. Because they on TV every other day. They know who to put on TV.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because that's what's
absolutely.
gonna get them. They trying to build
Hmm.
their own version of what the NBA is instead of asking the NBA. And
To
the
support.
NBA funds the WNBA. They help them, but they're like, we
Hmm.
should be like, yo, like, come on, bro. We got Kobe Bryant and them over here. What you want me to
Hmm.
do?
You
Yeah.
know
Because
what?
it's not based on. Go ahead.
I just want
No,
to
go ahead.
interject one quick second before I let y'all finish up. Now, I'm not comparing WNBA to the NBA at all. Absolutely not. Not going to do that. But what I will say is that a lot of these WNBA players, like if I watch the game, right, and I talked about this before, Mel. A lot of these
Mm-hmm.
WNBA players coming out there with wigs on, hair, nails, and stuff like that. Y'all not coming out there to ball. Y'all got to come out there to ball, right? Aja Wilson,
They are
she
going
don't
to
got a wig on.
destroy
She
you
took the wig
tomorrow,
off,
bro.
but she got the braids
They
in. She
go
got the
kill.
cornrow braids in, wrapped up. She ready to ball. Yeah, you out here. I be seeing these girls out here with the Angel Reese. She got
I
two
like that
braids,
though.
long braids. You dribbling the braids and smack you in your face. You trying to get down the court. What are you doing? Put that shit, wrap that up, and go out there. That's all I'm saying, bro. A lot of these women out there, they not playing ball. They out there trying to look cute on the basketball court. Take all that shit off
They
and
gonna
go out
kill.
there.
They
That's
gonna
why
kill you,
Caitlin
They
bro.
Clark
gonna
busting
They
y'all
Yo,
gonna
this
ass.
kill you,
nigga
bro.
trying to get his
That's
They
why
bag.
on
Caitlin
your
Clark is
ass.
busting y'all
Yo,
ass because she out there with a
yo,
doobie on,
they already was getting
toenails
a
on,
shot.
pulling.
Are
He's
you?
And I'm
Is
out
pulling.
this
here
going on?
killing.
Like we live, bro.
We
Hey, they on
live.
your ass, bro. They on
Yo,
your ass,
they
bro.
already was. They already was, but he was going on Andrew Reese. They was,
I speak my
dragging us.
truth. Go ahead, Segiro. I ain't. Well, my bad.
Oh
Finish, Ant.
shit, bro. You
Yeah, Ed,
crazy,
finish.
bro.
Go ahead, finish. Go ahead, finish. Because Ed was making a good point.
I'm digressing. I'm done with that
Yeah,
that
please,
topic.
No,
digress.
I was just gonna
Digress.
land. I was gonna land, bro. I was gonna say like to people that don't understand this, like basketball related income, the BRI. That's views, TV deals, endorsements,
And
sponsorships.
sponsorships. Hmm.
So like it's never gonna be the same as what the NBA is gonna get, but the WNBA is growing towards
They
something for
trending
them.
in the right direction.
So you
Yeah.
cannot they turn in the right direction, bro. So you can't compare the two. You can never do that. Like
No, I'm not
football
comparing.
is
No.
different than the NBA, NFL different than the NBA. You can't even compare the two. Football's number one.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't compare the two with the WNBA and the NBA. So when people like go online and talking about it, I'm like, if you see it on ESPN or so, first one of them shows like that, I'm like, y'all don't have nothing to talk about because y'all know it's no comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we got the best player over here, Lisa Leslie, who was my favorite ever. I love her. But you got Shaq over here. So what you gonna talk about?
Right.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
My take, we got to set proper expectations, right? So like instead of comparing the WNBA to the NBA, we need to just realize that how much the WNBA has continued to grow. Like women are getting more skilled, and we're seeing
That's
it.
it.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Caitlin Clark just does look like a female version of Steph Curry. Like she plays that style of ball.
Yes.
She talks her shit. They let them be
Hmm.
like what makes the NBA so exciting? It's like guys can fly through the air and do it. Women obviously cannot do that, but they let them their game be exciting in a different way. They let them compete. They let them talk their shit. They get more feisty, and they kind of let them fight. It's almost like fake hockey in a sense. Like they let them girls go at it because that is what
Yeah.
brings excitement. That if you looked at the fans when Caitlin Clark got into a scuffle, the fans was into it. People wasn't like worried. People was like, all right, it's good to see. Like let women compete. Just because they're women, we don't gotta act like we gotta throw pillows for them. Like let them compete. They're professional athletes. Angel Reese, yeah, Angel Reese might not like, you know, what I mean, she misses a lot of layups and stuff like that, but she's this version of like a Dennis Rodman. Like,
Stop
you
that,
gotta
man.
respect
Chill, son.
people. You gotta respect people's craft for what it is.
Stop, man.
Juju's gonna come in the game, and Juju trains like a man. Like if you see her, she goes through a lot of shit with Phil Handy. She's
Yeah.
incredible.
Bro,
So
I
like,
was on YouTube watching her work out, bro. Like on some real, like I'm like, I'm gonna take that move
yo,
and use it
Who?
with my homies. Like to train. She trained like a killer.
she
Who?
trains
She's
like
Carmelo
a
Anthony to me,
man.
like for
Who?
real.
Juju.
Juju.
Oh,
Juju
Juju. Yeah,
Washington,
she's nice.
She's
Carmelo.
so tough. So, like, if we
Yeah.
I
set
hated the shit
proper
out of her.
expectations to understand, like, yeah, we're not going to see high flying dunks, we're not going to see alleys, but there's still a art to basketball and a craft that a lot of these women do have, and they putting it on display. Now, what makes the WA a little bit like uninteresting is their top talent is elite, but it's the second tier that's such a drop off that's why the games be looking a little weird. Like Caitlin Clark is
Yeah.
dumb nice, but then whoever's like
Mm.
the fifth best player in the Fever is like, I ain't trying to watch that. Versus the fifth best player on OKC could go score 40 if he was on a bullshit team. You feel me?
Right.
Like
Good point.
so,
Right.
like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
difference. It's like they just need women to keep playing the game, more talent, more talent. 20 years from now, we're gonna see where the eighth best player on a team is still somebody you want to see. We're not at
Right.
that point yet, but we are
That's true.
trending towards that point.
Yeah.
Like
It's a good
more
point.
women
So
are playing, and more
it's
women are
Yeah.
getting better at the game. So it's just gonna
Yeah.
take
absolutely.
time, bro. It's just gonna take time.
Take the
Yeah.
Because
fucking
right
makeup
now,
off,
like
ladies,
to
and the
make a point,
wig.
what
Take
you
that shit
saying,
off.
like when the when the when the second unit comes in a WNBA game, we watch Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark or Aja Wilson versus whoever. The second unit come in the game,
And
people
then
changing the channel. It may not
exactly.
come back. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right, right.
So, but they trending in the right direction. Like that was a great point, bro.
They
That's
definitely
real.
Yeah.
trend in
And
the right direction.
I'm watching more WNBA than I ever have
I'm
because they have
watching.
storylines.
Yeah.
They got
Yes,
Yeah.
storylines.
yes.
The Caitlin
And
Clark and Aja Wilson storylines.
and I know
Hey,
that's
we
the
love
big.
women over here.
Oh yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
we
He's
love
bugging.
women's
But I
We
know,
basketball
love
over here.
women.
yeah, we love it. And I know we coming in on that hour. So I'm gonna say, bro, if you want to end it and restart it, because the next topic we're gonna be chatting. We got
Yeah,
Okay.
Segiro and
let's
Morrow here. So
let's talk about
I don't want to get cut off in the middle.
All
So
right. So no.
end
No,
it
Sit
I'm
and
right
good,
here.
restart it.
bro.
We're
it.
gonna cut it off and come right back on. So
All
Yeah,
part
right,
two
because
bet.
coming
we
up
gotta talk
next.
about this. This
Say
is
less.
big dog talk, y'all. Everybody who watching, y'all make sure y'all don't go nowhere. Jump right back in because we gonna get to the big boy chat. We got all the big boys here. We gonna get to it.
All right. Let me cut it off. We'll be right back. Right
Yeah,
All
back.
right.
Coming right back.
yeah.
For
That
last. We'll get them. Hold on.
2016
We get
Western
them.
Conference Finals is a legendary
It was up
series,
3-1.
and not even just that there's up 3-1. The games, Game Six, Clay.
Clay
But
went. Yep.
they was up 3-1 though, bro. That is part of
Oh,
this shit. It
yeah,
was
no,
up
no, it's part of it.
3-1.
I'm just saying, like, there's so many layers to how elite that series was.
The
At
biggest
that
layer,
point,
the biggest layer was that they fucking folded, man.
yeah,
3-1.
at that point,
3-1.
a lot of people probably at that point, a lot of people probably thought Russ was still better than Steph. I don't know that everybody felt Steph was better than Russ yet.
Yeah.
At that point. And KD definitely, everybody thought he was the best player on the floor.
That's why I was like, yo, that was like peak KD, Russell Westbrook. They was running through.
They was mature. They was vets in the league. They was in the league.
You know something I just peeped? It's a sidebar. Yo, bro, you got the New Orleans Hornets hat on with the Charlotte Hornets jersey.
Ah, shit.
Hey, they're the same team, bro.
No,
the same team.
I'm fucking with you though. We ain't gotta get off topic. I just want to fuck with you though.
Okay.
I want to fuck with you, but nah, like on the real though. Yeah, everything y'all saying is definitely valid about the 16. But honestly, I agree though. Like KD, like legacy, like Phoenix was trying to get rid of the motherfucker. He didn't want to go. What the fuck you gonna do if a team don't want you anyway?
He didn't want to be there no more. They didn't want him. It didn't make sense. There was no reason for him to be there.
I mean, it didn't make sense when they traded for Bradley Beal to go over there. When I saw that trade, I'm like, why is they doing that?
I'm like, what y'all think this is fantasy basketball? Like,
right?
Yeah.
Who?
You
how much?
You got another Devin Booker.
Yeah, you just got a worse version of Devin Booker. Like, you already got that. Like, go get a center or a power forward, somebody that can like command the paint. You got KD and Book. You don't need nothing else out here.
Their mistake was when they gave up Chris Paul. That was their mistake. Chris Paul was the glue. You had Chris Paul. They just went to the finals, bro. And you had KD, Booker, and Chris Paul on there, right? Forget anybody. You still had Mikal Bridges, 8. Forget all that. But you had KD, Booker, and Chris Paul. And you got rid of that? That's crazy. Crazy to me. I don't know what Phoenix, from that point on, from that finals point on, Phoenix has been a disaster. They've been a disaster.
Allen Iverson will live on. My son pulled out a newspaper from freaking 2001.
01. You know how I do.
And the newspaper was fresh. Looked like he ironed it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, this is for real.
I ain't mad at him, no.
My
bro.
When did AI become your guy? Like, was it George?
My guy, I'm gonna give you a story.
When did you I love
2001. I'm 10 years old. My brother, being the typical older brother that he is, he was like, yo, bet. Fuck Allen Iverson in the Sixers, they gonna lose. Every series, Segiro said he was gonna lose to Vince. I win money from him. Milwaukee, I win money from him. But I was smart though, because we bet on the series. On the Lakers, we bet on the first game. And I won money. I'm happy I didn't bet on the series. That was the only one I didn't bet on the series. I bet on one game.
But when did AI become your guy? Like what was it for you?
He became my guy when I really started playing ball. Like I used to watch ball. I was a Knicks fan, but when I started playing ball in like 4th grade, like actually started playing myself, like 4th grade, and it's like I'm really like getting into the game.
So what year is AI in the league at this point?
This just has to be like 99-ish, 98, 99-ish. So he's in like year 3.
Okay, so it's like the first year he had braids, like just when he started getting the braids.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like that's when I was really like, yo, like that dude he's the truth. And then he was the guy in the hood. That's my boy John. He said big bro forcing you to be he know I used to be on his head top at work. Like, yo, fuck everybody that boy. But now you know what it is because he was the drill though. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like I was that he was the dude. He was the dude. And that's the only person who went at Mike Headtop.
AI really represented like us. He was an NBA star that you actually thought like, yo, I could be that. Like I could be that.
And he was small. He was taking over. He was doing it his way. And you got to remember, at that time too, a lot of people was like that. Like Mike Tyson. That's why I love Mike Tyson. Or, all these guys at this time. Even that's when Michael Vick is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that time, if you was like that, everybody was rocking with you. You was the people's champion. The
streets loved you. Yeah.
And Mike Vick and AI from the same place. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So, Newport News, right?
Yeah, so
Not
You
well,
know,
not
you know
Luca.
how it
Luca.
is, man. That's what it is. That's why I gotta remind y'all, because sometimes y'all be getting hype and people want to talk about Hardens and Wades and all that shit is cute. They not the answer. Only people that's better than the answer, Kobe, Mike. If anything else than at the two guard, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. I'm just not hearing it. Yeah, I'm
No, I
putting
mean,
muted on.
no, I mean with AI, man. I think everybody that talks about AI gives AI his props. I
Nah,
think
but
to
they
me,
front though, bro. They
it's the
front.
newer generation that kind of like would throw shade on AI's name because, granted, they haven't seen him play, right? So they just know MJ. I don't know Braun. You know, they know MJ because MJ's an iconic name, right? Like my
Yeah,
mom, I was telling you when I was asking, you know, I ain't gonna put a blast because she won't. But I was like, yo, do you know who Allen Iverson is? She said no, right? But like,
yeah,
you know who MJ is? Yeah, right. So a
yeah.
lot of, you know, what they call it, like the Gen Z,
Millennials,
millennial. No,
whatever.
I think I'm
Oh,
thinking
not
of.
millennial. But listen, if you don't know who AI is, listen. Go on YouTube. Look at it. Like I was talking to Segiro. This is the thing. Second highest points per game in the playoffs after Michael Jordan. I don't care who we talking about. The man showed up. Smallest guy on the court showed up. Gave B Diddy the 55 piece, get him out of here. Giving Reggie 40, crossing Jordan, Stockton, Kobe out the screen, 40 pieces. Like, for real, all jokes aside though, that's the one and only. People gotta pay him because at his size, what he was doing, we ain't seeing that. We gotta keep it a stack. And he had Philly in the playoffs relevant every season, second round. Not even like Penny was Penny. Iverson said, "Move, you're done." You
We
know, so
giving
Yeah.
we
you know
giving
what I mean, we
AI
gotta give him
his
credit.
flowers, man. We
You gotta
give
give him his
AI,
credit.
and
Let's do it right.
you're not gonna ever allow me or anybody that comes on
Nah,
here to
I'm not
disrespect
allowing
Allen
it.
Iverson
I'm
without
not
giving
allowing
flowers.
it. So
So
AI,
you
if you
know,
seeing this, I'm your boy. I'm not gonna let them do that. You feel me? Nobody.
I'm telling you, man,
Nobody.
we gonna get Chuck on. When we get Chuck on, you know, we're gonna get Chuck because I know too many of his peoples out here
Yo,
around here. Like
listen.
and I told Ant, like,
Yeah.
yo, man, well, you know, if he comes back on, I'm like, yo, text him right now,
Yes.
call him right now, tell him to get on the
Yo,
line.
listen. If Chuck get on, all of y'all niggas be quiet. I'm talking. I'm doing the talking.
I'm not
Y'all
even
be
coming
quiet.
on. I'm just watching. I ain't even
Y'all
coming
be
on that joint.
quiet.
I'ma just
Let
watch.
me conduct this joint. You feel me? Yo, listen, man.
Mel gonna have
Hold up.
chapter and verse like, yo, AI. So tell us about round one,
Yo,
game two, where you had
Yo,
40.
hey, yo, hold on. Let me show you something. Let me show you. Hold on.
He got
he going back to the archives.
he gonna fuck around, pull out the blue silk AI
Nah, yeah,
jersey from
nah.
'02.
This is a book. This is a book. It's just a picture book through the years though. Gary Land made this. All the photos of joint, like you feel me?
Oh,
Like
that
through the
cover is
years,
hard. It's like I like that cover.
all the
Yo,
photos and all that.
that fucking commercial with Kiss
Oh,
is
it's
Like
hard.
the
legendary.
Legendary.
photos,
Legendary.
just
Now
straight
AI is
photos.
just he's
Like
J
one
AI, go get the A5s. Legendary.
saying like,
he's
man,
one
like,
of
yo, come
one,
on,
Where's
man.
man.
the where do you got the autograph that I got that?
Oh, it's in my thing upstairs. I got it. It's in my thing
Oh,
upstairs.
okay.
You got an autograph from AI?
Yeah,
My
I
brother
was
got
actually
it for
at
me
work.
on an
I
airline ticket.
I was at work, and then he was chilling. I was working at United Airlines at the time, and
Uh-huh.
I'm just seeing him like as early in the morning, and I'm chilling. I'm at the counter, and I'm like Allen Iverson. I'm like, that's AI. So I'm going walking up to them. The dude like, hold on. I'm like, yeah, that's AI. He like, yeah. I was like, yo, my brother is a fucking huge fan. Like, yo, I need that autograph. It's for my brother, yo. So he's like, all right, I got you. So I just let them alone because I didn't want to hound them.
Yeah.
So he come into the line. I'm at the line waiting, waiting at the line. Get to the line. I was like, yo, you know, he's like, yeah, I got you. My man signed it. I was like, yo, bro, I got AI
Yeah,
autograph,
I was hyped. I was hyped.
That's
I was
dope.
hyped.
That's dope.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, like, look, son, it's on deck. It's on deck.
Yo, we
bro.
It's
really
on,
love AI,
it's
son.
on deck, son. I'm
He's
telling,
the
look, yeah,
people's
like
champ. So
rookie card.
I feel like I always ask Mel this question like every 3 years. AI or Zeke? Who's number
All right,
one for
look, hold
you?
on, hold on. Listen, you know
And
that's a
and
little
said
touchy.
his Wi-Fi going stupid right now. He just text me. I'm like,
I'm
hurry,
gonna answer
bro.
the AI and Zeke. Listen, I will say this, man. AI is my dog. He's my
He said my
dog.
brother would never.
You know what I mean? You know
He said,
what I'm
yo,
saying?
I knew how much of a fan he was, man. There was no way I could go and
Yeah,
not attempt to get the autograph from my
yeah,
bro. It's
man.
crazy. I couldn't do that.
He did me justice with that, man.
That's love.
I know. Oh yeah, I know we closing out on an hour, but I mean
Yeah.
we
AI
got
Zeke.
everything in. So
Yeah.
we enjoyed this episode though, fellas. Let's
Yeah,
Yes.
close
yeah,
it out
yeah, yeah,
properly.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yo, so you know what it is, man. It's your boy, C.O. McClain, episode 15. We want to thank my man Segiro. We want to thank my man Ant Merrow
Thank you,
for
fellas, for
chiming
having me
in.
on.
Yeah.
No,
Boy, Melly
very,
Mel,
very,
man. Episode
very great
15.
episode. Episode
Yeah.
50 got the
Yo,
books. Your
salute
boy
the
C.O.
Ant.
McClain.
Mel, appreciate y'all.
All
Yes, sir.
day.
All
Salute,
right,
brother.
fellas. Take
All
it
right.
easy.
Already.
All right.